Hello and welcome back to another Crab's Treasure. I believe some reintroductions are in order. I'm Trud Studdlerucker, Jamie for short. With me, as always, is Chip Cheesem.
Hey.
Voidburger is not here today because she had to go on a treasure hunt to pay back a loan shark.
It's true.
But we have a special guest with us in the studio, which I'm very excited about. You may know this fella from the erstwhile podcast, I Don't Even Own a Television. You may also have heard him on The Worst Bestsellers and It's Christmas Town with Dave and Jeb. Or you may have seen him in your dreams. Your mileage may vary on that. This is Mr. Chris Collision.
Howdy, everybody. Just happy to be here. Hope this doesn't go sideways.
Crabs.
I'm feeling underprepared. I didn't think about crab puns at all before coming here.
I will try to fill that gap. I mean, I think if you just put your mind, in the pun space, you'll find that all puns eventually evolve into crab puns.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Several episodes ago, we were trying and failing to come up with an aquatic pun on Zoran Mamdani's name, and it wasn't working. It's like harder than it sounds, to come up with puns.
What did you settle on?
Voidburger came up with clam soggy.
Right.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the writers for those Bob's Burgers gags are like, see? It was harder than you thought.
Exactly. Oh, man. Well, so for this episode, we're sort of at a turning point in the story, so we're taking a little break from the main plot of the game to explore this giant map, the Sands Between, now that we actually have all the abilities we need to fully explore the place. So we're just going to be roaming around and shooting the shit.
The little, trap here with the guys, under the sand, has that happened anywhere else before? Is that, a unique thing here? I don't recall this happening.
Only on this map, I think it happens.
Huh,
where,
okay.
the ground falls away, and there's, surprise pits of dudes.
Surprise crabs, yeah.
Surprise crabs. Usually an item in there for your troubles. But...
Yeah.
Whee!
Yeah, I had to cut out a lot of just traversal between all these places, because this is a big place. We're going to be kind of mainly working around the edges, and just sort of, going in a big circle.
All right. So, yeah, no specific, major locations we haven't been to, just everything kind of in between and around.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
Before we kind of get going on talking about other stuff... Oh, wait, that's not yet. Never mind. Vaguely remembering some of the stuff that happens in this episode. Whoops, recorded a long time ago. So maybe, perhaps we could speak a bit on I Don't Even Own a Television, its history, its provenance, and its relationship to the wonderful aquatic animal of the crab.
Yeah, so I Don't Even Own a Television was a podcast hosted and created by J.W. Friedman, co-hosted by me after, I think about a couple dozen episodes. I came on board as sort of the Ed McMahon figure to his Johnny Carson, or update your references as needed. The Paul Schaefer to his Dave Letterman, maybe, I don't know.
Right.
And it was a podcast about bad books, and mostly focused on sort of bad fiction. The crazier, the better. There's some newer shows that more focus on bad, for you, bad for people type nonfiction books, like your airport nonfiction, sort of proto TED Talk and then post TED Talk kind of books. Mostly.
Right. Yeah. Your Gladwells, your Petersons, all that.
Exactly. where we really took a lot of pleasure in trying to find good bad books, if you will. It's really a very Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of approach, where we come in every time knowing that the thing's probably going to be bad and not fun, but that just made the ones that were both bad and fun so much better. And one of the real highlight experiences for us was this book, and actually series, about giant killer crabs invading England. And it really crystallized, I think, a lot for us when we were reading these bonkers ass books. That I can't describe it other than what it was. They're books about giant, basically indestructible, fairly smart killer crabs invading England over and over again.
With a military hierarchy.
Oh, of course. Well, because there's king crabs. See, he's the boss crab. He's in charge.
Right. Yeah. He's like the size of a house. The rest of them are about maybe range from cow size to Sherman tank, as I recall. Yeah. You guys only did 2 of the books. There's 8 of them in total, I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And they're by this crazy guy named Guy. Who, among other things, is a giant Iron Maiden fan. So it just couldn't be, it couldn't be better. We couldn't really recommend them more highly. And yeah, for some reason, it really clicked for us, and it really clicked for our listeners. Instantly, there was, listeners were calling themselves crab riders. And
myself included, all of this happened to me,
Exactly. I mean, what was it like when it, take us behind the listening experience. You're sitting there, you open up Pocket Casts, there's a new episode. How did it feel?
Yeah, I think you guys had already become crab-pilled by the time I, caught up with the show. I forget what was the newest episode when I started listening, because I wasn't there from the beginning. It started in, 2014, and then you came on, a year later, I think. But, here's what I was talking about, by the way, before we get into that. This unfortunate thing that happens.
Oh, shit. Oh my god.
Oh, he took your house.
That guy's new, right?
That guy's new, yeah.
Okay. Jesus.
So these are I guess sandworms, you call them. They are the requisite jump scare enemy in this game.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, so they don't really appear until this point. So you might have gone, hours and hours without seeing them, and then you just get got.
That's great.
So if you're wearing a shell, they eat the shell. If you're not wearing a shell, instant death.
Great.
Yeah, you can kill them. It's really annoying, but
usually you have to park the Millennium Falcon on an asteroid to see one of those.
Right, yeah. Gotta go inside it. Anyway, this is how you get them. You gotta dodge away, and then you have a brief window to hit them.
Yeah.
And then they die. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing some more of those, so watch out for jump scares. But yeah, as for I don't even own a television. I was getting into it in 2016. I was in community college just to date myself, and I got into it from, I believe, Sunday School Dropouts. I was a big fan of that show, and Jay had been on there talking about the Book of Deuteronomy. And I think the first episode I listened to was the Bill O'Reilly murder mystery with the 2 self-insert Bill O'Reilly characters.
Yeah, with Jeb, right?
Yeah, Jeb Lund. One of whom is a murderer, the other is the sexy cop trying to catch the sexy murderer. That's a whole can of worms. We can't. It's called Those Who Trespass. Please go listen to it. It was a great episode. And I just started. Yeah, go
oldest rule in the game is that the only thing that stops a bad guy with a Bill O'Reilly is a good guy with a Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, and that loofah thing. Yeah, I got into the show. I started listening all the way through it, and I forget what was the newest around the time, but eventually, somewhere in the early middle of the run, you guys did Night of the Crabs, and I also just found that like just a magnificent experience of hearing you guys gush about this weird thing that you found.
Yeah.
Because like it's not great, but there's some books that you guys or worst bestsellers do where you come away from it just like, we actually really liked this. Like it's not Proust or anything, but like it was fun. It's a good way to kill an afternoon or a week or so, depending on how slow you are as a reader. So I sought out the book myself. I've read it twice, I believe.
Oh, wow.
I have it here with me. I got a copy on eBay. This is like the third printing from like 77. And I just fell in love with this goofy ass, like sort of ironic literary monster movie type thing. I have sought out other books from the show to read myself, but basically only in this bizarre 1970s British horror microgenre of small, what do I want to say? Ostensibly harmless animal. What if they were big and there were lots of them and they ate people?
Right. Yeah. What if harmless harm?
Yeah.
What if little big?
Exactly. This subgenre I feel like was started in 1974 with James Herbert's The Rats, which you also did an episode on. And what gets me about The Rats, which I've also read, is that there's kind of subtext in The Rats. Like it's about the urban decay of the East End of London, and it's sort of like a, what have we done? We failed to prepare for this crisis, and now it's kind of too late, and that sort of like there's you could do a reading of The Rats that encompasses like a theme. There is none of that in Night of the Crabs. It is literally just crabs come out of the ocean, they're really big, they eat people. What are we gonna do about it?
Oh, is this the Dark Souls costume?
This is a Dark Souls costume. This is based on Solaire of Astora from Dark Souls, of course, and instead of the medieval sun on his tunic, it's like a Sunny D sort of thing. Yeah, I like this costume a lot. But yeah, and they did, you guys did more than just animals eating people books on that show, but
at the end of the day, I'm not actually quite sure why. No, I kid. But yeah, those were absolute highlights. Another that sticks in my head was Slugs.
Right. I also own a copy of Slugs. I have not read it yet, though.
which just in case there's any confusion, is what if slugs, but they weren't just in your garden and they ate you?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the reason that crabs and slugs really took off later is that you can get quite upsetting in your descriptions of getting et by one. I think everybody can kind of imagine what it would be like to be attacked by a rat. It's in fact, I think that there's probably some very serious real estate devoted at the very base of the skull to imagining it and trying to prevent it, because all our ancestors who weren't good about avoiding shit like that died.
Yeah.
But we don't really have that. I think most normal people don't really have that built up around things like slugs and crabs. So it's instantly this kind of great horror reading experience.
Yeah. I hear you. So yeah, that happened. The show was it ran for several years, I believe, up until 2022 or 3, I think.
Yeah, I mean, really, we were very, very good about a very consistent bi-weekly release schedule, but it was a side project for both of us. We both had full-time jobs, full-time, lives and stuff. And ironically, what really kind of broke our schedule was the obviously shutdown for the pandemic.
Yes.
And we managed to get ourselves together and get an episode out here and there, after early 2020. But that was really kind of the beginning of the end for us, and it just turned into something that we lamentably couldn't make time for anymore. So.
Right. Yeah. I remember being disappointed but understanding completely when you guys put out. There was a final episode where it was shorter than the others. It was kind of a goodbye, which I definitely appreciated instead of just like a sign off Patreon post like we're done sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. That was my, I pitched Jay on that because like I did think it would be a nicer way to go out, And you go out on the platform that you existed on. I thought,
right?
And the whimsical gods of timing worked out such that it came out on April 1st, which lightly undercut the message. We didn't really see that coming. We put out this kind of heartfelt, like, "Hey guys, sorry we can't do this anymore," episode, and then the response was, "Is this? Are you kidding?"
Oh, you clowns! You jokers. Yeah.
Probably not helped by my insistence on like titling the post, I think, "So long and thanks for all the fish" or something like that. But
it was something like that. It was definitely a Douglas Adams reference.
Yeah.
But thankfully the show has been preserved. I believe, Jay is not paying for hosting it anymore, but there was an archive. People had a Google Drive of all the episodes. There is a YouTube channel now called I Don't Even Own a Television Legacy that has every mainline episode except for Clockwork Angels, the Rush book.
I wonder why.
Why?
I don't know why. It could be copyright because Jay still used actual songs in those. But yeah, I would highly recommend going back to the archives. It is maybe my favorite podcast of all time. It's right up there with Rude Tales of Magic for me. It just really, it's a comfort listen for me nowadays.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a few of those shows myself where, like, especially, on a bad day or if, I'm having trouble getting to sleep, like, you find a particular favorite episode.
Mm-hmm. I am also remembering now that when I was also doing comfort watches of old Chip Cheesem Let's Plays, there was a reference to a book that you guys later did on I Don't Even Own Television all the way back when you did No More Heroes 2, Chip.
Really? What book was it?
I don't know if you remember, but it was the episode where you guys did the just interminably long fight in the parking lot. And you were just cutting, because it was a live stream, so you were like cutting around to you and Grant just kind of like shooting the shit over the course of, I don't know, like half an hour, an hour.
Right.
Like you had to really just trim a lot of fat. And the montage started with, I think, Grant saying, "So read any good books lately?" And in post, you put in a picture of the cover of Monday Night Jihad. By whatever fucking football player it was.
Denver Broncos kicker Jason Elam.
Yeah.
I forgot entirely about that. Jesus.
And so, like, yeah, I had never heard of that book when I first saw that LP. So I didn't really register the joke. But the last time I rewatched that series, I was just like, wait, is that the fucking football anti-terrorism squad book?
There's definitely a special place in the afterlife for those of us who, increased awareness of that piece of shit.
Yeah, that was another sort of genre of like shitty thrillers written by right-wing lunatics. Like the Steven Seagal Way of the Shadow Wolves was another one of those.
God.
Like,
hey, remind me, because I'm getting like different podcasts like crossed. On that podcast, was there ever a Douglas Adams book covered?
I don't think so.
I think probably what you're thinking of is so our friends podcast, Worst Bestsellers.
Yeah.
They do this great season of what they call Flashback Summer, where they take themselves off to kind of the treadmill of trying to find bad books and harsh on them, and just sort of like, hey, here's something that meant a lot to me as a kid. Or
your
in the
Babysitter's
past.
Club, your Animorphs.
Yeah.
I just listened to the one where they did an X-Files book written by Kevin J. Anderson.
Oh man, I gotta listen to that.
It's called Ground Zero, unfortunately.
Sorry, I made a very funny mistake here. I did not mean Douglas Adams. I meant Scott Adams.
Yeah.
Very different guy.
I think we did a couple Scott Adams of the like the God Delusion or whatever.
No, you did God's Debris with
God's
Lauren from
Debris.
Sunday School Dropouts, which is another one of my favorite episodes. That was his book about how it's like a fiction book about like a wise mailman or something telling a guy all about his theory that the Big Bang was God blowing himself up.
Right.
To see what would happen, and we're all made of God's debris and stuff, and
Or something.
that's why and that's why women be in the kitchen, you know. Something like that.
I seem to remember it was like mostly a non-college person demolishing a college professor with the power of facts and logic.
Right, that sort of thing.
Back before Scott Adams like went visibly terminally insane. But just to close the loop, Jay did do
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Hitchhiker's Guide on Flashback Summer for worst bestsellers. So
yeah, I'm years behind on that show, but I did see that he did that, which is fun.
it was a really fun episode. I then brought it down the next week by coming in with a thing called Crystal Singer, which was a delightfully campy romp about what if opera singers were the only people who could find oil to run the universe with. It's incredible.
That sounds kind of like, it reminds me of Spell Singer, which Chip, you and Void have talked about before. That was like a novelization series of a guy's D&D campaign, but he was like a rock star.
Yes, he is a teenager from the real world who gets sucked into a wonderful fantasy world where his love of, at the time, modern day rock and roll allowed him to play the guitar and cast magic. So it was constantly just this guy referencing whatever dad rock he was really into at the time and going, and then he played this and it made cool shit happen. And eventually he got old enough that character had a son who was into rapping, but he didn't know anything about rap in the 90s. So it's even more embarrassing.
I gotta be honest, that sounds awesome.
It's, I genuinely, some of them are like okay, and like every once in a while he accidentally makes a character that just kind of rules, even though they're supposed to be making fun of something, and it's just like there's a dragon that they meet who's like a huge fucking communist and he rules. And it's supposed to be like a takedown of like commies and hippies and shit, but it's just like, no, this guy's right and he's cool.
It's like the Jewish space laser or the like evil lesbian farmer trope of like, why are you making your political enemies sound awesome?
Yeah. Those books are definitely, some of them at least are worth reading. They're a decent time. Although every single female character is not great because it's always just the protagonist's girlfriend breasting boobily around places and then vanishing because whoever was playing that character in their campaign had to leave for a little while.
It's such a classic way of writing a book with some, I guess I would describe them as structural problems.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good way to get inspiration, but like a one-to-one adaptation of your D&D campaign just sounds like, just on its face, a really bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the best case scenario is what, the Expanse books, which I guess legendarily came out of their role-playing campaign.
I did not know that, huh?
I mean, that's the kind of thing that, like, that it's playground knowledge, you know what I mean? Like, that it's just somebody told me that, and I was like, that sounds like a fact. I'm just going to put that in the old Brainium and start busting it out at parties.
I'm not going to look that up. Oh, man. So, Collision, what is your, since we are ostensibly talking over a video game,
right?
What is your relationship to the medium of video games?
oh, Jesus Christ, you're going to get me canceled. Well, first of all, they're for children, and they're definitely not art. No.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Folks, discuss.
Why would I say something so controversial and yet so brave? No. Well, currently I'm playing a quite long in the tooth cat collector game on my phone. I mean, not currently, right now. I'm
right. Yeah, you're paying attention.
I'm not multitasking. I had a major hobby interest in video games that started in about, I don't know, maybe 2004-ish, when I had come down to Oakland, where I now live, to visit and hang out and see some people and whatnot. And I took the train back to Portland, where I lived at the time. And in front of, somebody had left tucked into the, seat pocket in front of me, Nintendo DS. And I thought, what's this? And it turned out it was pretty fun. Had Pokemon Emerald in it.
That's the one I grew up playing.
Yeah. I never got very far with Pokemon. I might be the world's worst Pokemon player. But like a good depressed boy fresh out of college, I spent some time on the internet and was like, okay, so this takes GBA games. I'll buy this Fire Emblem thing. What are these sacred stones about? And so I spent like several years, that was kind of got me off and running. And I got fairly heavily into the retro Dreamcast scene, especially around that time.
Nice.
Nice.
And, looked up about 4 or 5 years later and was like, this correlates pretty strongly with depression for me. So I need to be a lot more careful about how I interact with video games, just personally.
That's fair.
So yeah, now, like I say, now, I don't have anything around really, and don't play much. I did, however, never get over the pleasure of sitting on the couch and watching somebody else play something. So stuff like this is pretty comfortable for me.
Nice, yeah. The foundation of Let's Play,
Yeah.
Which started shortly after, I believe. Was that 2006 or so? Is the
2000,
lore beginning of LP?
2006 or 7.
Yeah.
I started in 2008, so pretty close to the start.
I did a couple in 2011 when I was 14 that thankfully do not exist anymore. Filmed with not even a camcorder, a flip camera.
Oh, hell yeah.
Balanced on a stool. Yeah, I'm so glad that Retsuprey never found any of my shit.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's interesting. But you are also, I know, a huge fan of Resident Evil, but am I corrected that only extends to the feature films and the novelizations of various...
It's true that I have not yet taken the plunge into the cartoon versions, or I think there's a new TV series, straight to Netflix and then promptly ceased to exist. Yep. I want to say probably 4 or so Resident Evil games, all of which I was world-class crummy at.
Yeah.
Back in the dawn of prehistory, probably the game I had more hours in than anything else was this obscure franchise called X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there was nothing I played more than that. And then they released some other, something in universe, and I was like, oh, I'll try this. Oh, what's this? This is a first person game, and my brain just bounced off it. And in a similar way, my brain just completely bounced off anything like Resident Evil controls. And it was the kind of thing where I wasn't having enough fun to stick with it and make and, kind of wear those grooves in my brain. Although I will say that I think the funniest, probably the hardest I ever laughed at a game was I was sort of like crouch walking, a skinless dog came through a window, and I just sort of like backed straight out of the alley. And just the way that was animated, like just made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, games, especially horror games or like hard on purpose games, like this one, for instance, are good for comedy like that.
Yeah, they let you kind of nope out in a very engaging way.
In a way, it can be a form of slapstick where you are all three of the Stooges.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It's probably one of the ways to make, I feel, difficult games feel less bullshit when you die, is if you're having a laugh while you're doing it. And it's just like,
Right.
okay, well, it was funny at least, so I got something out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one of my old, man, I haven't thought about this in a long time, but like one of my staunchest video game beliefs when I was playing a lot was that you should be able to beat any given game regardless of whether you mastered any given mechanic. Or that is, there should always be a way to beat the game, even if there's one mechanic that you just cannot get down.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining everyone who actually plays video games is like, you sound like you really suck at video games, and I will certainly plead guilty to that.
Yeah. I think you sound like someone who knows what they're about, and extensive video game play, some might say usage, is not one of those things, you know?
Not in this season of my life, you know.
And that's fine, you know? Like,
you know, I feel like I put my time in, you know.
right.
I was like, especially because like I'm unfathomably old, so you know, like I sucked on the NES, you know what I mean? Like I was terrible at the original Zelda. I remember being in college when somebody said the words pattern recognition to me, and me realizing, you know, maybe I'd be better at Mario if I were trying to memorize things instead of like reflex to them, because I also have terrible reflexes.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I should mention this is also a multi-generational Let's Play. 'Cause I'm the youngest person here by some metric, but
I am guessing I am probably in the middle then.
I'm getting old though. I'm gonna be 30 this year.
My God,
Yeah.
I'm inching towards 40.
Oh, you sweet summer children.
Yeah, I just turned 37.
Nice.
Woo!
Do anything fun?
I stayed home and played a lot of video games because I've been working a lot, and that's just generally what I want to do on my birthday because I'm always so tired.
Yeah.
I game development can be a lot of fun, but also it's a lot of work sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that they will really get you on, you know, 20-hour days, if at all possible, when stuff gets really tight.
Yeah, I am one of the lucky people in that I work for a game developer in Finland who loves labor laws far more than people do in America, at least.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I've never seen people until I moved to Finland who value and hold their vacation time to their chest so tightly. If you do anything to threaten that vacation time, they're like gonna fucking stab the shit out of you. Like it is sacred here, which is correct. That is the way we should, you know.
It's a paradise on earth. Yeah.
Thankfully, pretty good work-life balance. Finland also does 37.5-hour work weeks or 37-hour work weeks, so it's slightly shorter days in general. It's all things considered, probably one of the best places to be when it comes to game development.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I think, unfortunately, I think you're still like subject to the market pressures of the rest of the industry, which is currently a complete fucking garbage fire.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know, so that sucks. But yeah, it does my heart good to hear about, you know, the sort of company culture, the way things are over there. Because like if you worked at Rockstar,
Yeah.
I feel like I would be calling you a wellness check every episode. But then again, you'd also wouldn't be on here because you wouldn't have the time.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I thought.
Oh, look at that little guy.
Yeah. So I thought, for this, just to give you some context, Collision, on what we're doing out here in this game, one of the cool things about I Don't Even Own a Television was the sort of regimented segments that you guys would do to sort of give the discussion some structure. They all had theme songs, too, which was great. Love all those theme songs. But one of them you would do early on was Plot in 60 Seconds. So I'm going to challenge you to summarize the plot of this game. No, you don't have to do it.
I think I could probably do it. I mean, you had an extremely pithy description of it that I could just rip off, so that would work.
I guess I actually prepared something. I don't know if you want to try, Chip, but I figured the moment I was like, I should have one of the I Don't Even Own a Television guys come on here. I was like, I should try to do a plot in 60 seconds.
Yeah,
I mean, if you made something, yeah, go for it.
Okay,
the most controversial segment, probably.
Yeah, the hit rate on that one was famously not very good. But okay, are you one of you got a timer out?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I should mention this guy too. The thing this dude is talking about is when we first got here, like 10 episodes ago, there was a giant crab who eats people who would wander around the map, and you had to stay on the path. We killed him in episode 14, but this guy's still scared of him.
Well, that sounds like the kind of thing that you'd be scared of for the long term.
Yeah, they don't turn off the scared guy after you kill the big man. Anyway, okay. Someone got a timer out?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Just let me know.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Our story begins with Kril, a young hermit crab living alone by a tide pool, hiding in his shell and wanting to be left alone. A prawn named Prawnathan, posing as a loan shark, repossesses Krill's beloved shell when Kril is unable to pay back taxes. The ocean's economy revolves around trash and microplastics now, and Kril is flat broke. Armed with a rusty fork, he journeys to meet the Duchess of Slacktide, whom he is forced to kill after she is infected by the gunk, a brain disease caused by pollution that turns crabs into mindless killers. Proceeding on to the modern city of New Carcinia, Kril confronts Prawnathan just in time for Trash Day, when the giant trash island floats over the city, dumping free trash on it and thereby stimulating the economy. One of these bits of trash is a cereal box with an incomplete treasure map on the back. Together with his new friends, Firth, a douchey finance bro, Nema, a warm-hearted, folksy single mom, Chitin, a warrior lobster who yearns for revenge, and Conch, an old historian, Kril sets out to recover the map pieces and find the treasure so he can exchange it for his shell. The journey takes our heroes across the sands between, through the expired grove, and into Flotsam Vale, company town of the brutal Shellfish Corp, a monopolistic trash processing empire. Once the map is complete, it is promptly stolen by Shellfish Corp's CEO and de facto mayor of New Carcinia, Roland, a sand crab who scuttles his own factory to build a barge capable of trawling the vast sea of gunk to the east for treasure. Our heroes pursue, infiltrating the remains of the factory to attain the power of electricity from a creepy electric eel to power their own boat. And that's where we left off.
Well, I hate to say it, but you were well over.
Shit.
But you had fun doing it. I think we all learned a lot.
Yeah.
The best innovation in the plot in 60 seconds space came from Jeb and Dave on It's Christmas Town, where not only did they rebrand to the expositional challenge, but they added a 9-second grace period. So if you actually got it done within that nice time, you would get a reward of some kind. Unfortunately, you went a little bit over that, but I did want to shout those exciting developments out.
Yes, and I love that show too. You get the attaboy.
Yes,
if you get it in.
Which is, it's a little bit like the video game experience. Turns out people will do a lot for what amounts to an attaboy.
Yeah. Or in this case, closure to, I will say it, a very well-written story. I know you haven't seen any of this actual plot shake out, but the reason I'm doing this, this Let's Play is that this game is it absolutely charmed the pants off me. With its gameplay is fun, crab battle. Like, the premise obviously is cool because I love crabs, partly because of your show. But just the world building, the setting, the creativity with the use of human trash as crab infrastructure, and the sort of the thematic richness of, the ocean running on trash, but also being slowly destroyed by it. There is a lot of thematic and textural material to this story to recommend it.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of fun, and I'm assuming that they just had to work very, very hard to never, ever, ever show you a pineapple and thus get the bejesus suit out of them.
Well, hold that thought.
Okay.
This place, obviously it's full of the jump scare guys. When we first got to the Sands Between in episode 7, Conch, our old history buddy, he was giving us the lay of the land, and he said okay, up to the north is the Grove, and then to the east is Flotsam Vale, the Poison Swamp. And then he said, I wouldn't go west from here if I... What was that?
Lord of the Rings?
Huh?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Sorry.
Okay. He said, I wouldn't go west of here without a really good reason. This is why. It's full of scary jump scare worms.
Oh, man. Are they exclusively in this area, or do they show up other places too?
Well, they showed up. We were over in the east before when we first saw one of those, but
oh, okay.
That's mainly their breeding grounds.
Right.
So here we go. I really like this little sort of mini story, except for the fact that there's no actual music. I don't know if that's a stylistic choice because they're underwater. Maybe they couldn't get the rights to Crab Rave? I don't know.
Oh, man, yeah,
that's definitely what it's a reference to.
Yeah.
Oh, they're there.
Oh, so for surviving the worm gauntlet, we get a new adaptation, which is a special attack you learn from other sea creatures. I've been using them throughout the video. This one's from the electric eel we fought last time. But the bobbit worm one is actually really good. It's a trap from the ground that you send out ahead of you. That traps an enemy, makes him immobile, and then you can just wail on him.
Nice. Oh, disco ball.
Okay, I was gonna say that's a remarkably excellent shell. Although I do want to jump back, so at the beginning you're a hermit crab living alone and wanting to be left alone. Common misconception: hermit crab's actually very social. So if you go to the beach and want to bring, some hermit crabs back as pets, you want to bring more than one.
Get two of them. Yeah. See? A slug.
The pun-based economy in flavor text really bears some kind of investigation.
So the disco ball is not metal, so we can't. We need to go back to get a metal shell. Ugh, shit.
I suppose it's just plastic.
Yeah, probably.
Oh. You just ruined the concept of disco balls for me permanently, I think.
Oh, no.
With that realization.
Now here, again, it's actually glass. That's what it is, because I forgot that you can't have a hammer on the end of your fork if it's made of glass, so I just wrecked my own disco ball.
Oh, man. Is that the only place to get a disco ball?
I think so, but you can insure it if you want.
Oh, right.
You can insure it? This game has insurance?
There is an insurance system in this game. So in the main city, New Carcinia, there's a shell store called Shellfish Desires. We're actually going to go there at the end of this video and buy a new costume just for fun. But you can buy shells there, and you can insure almost any shell in the game, which is you pay a one-time fee, and you select a shell to insure, and then when you die and you respawn in one of your hubs, you will you'll get your shell back. Like as many times.
Is this in-game currency or is this actual money?
It's in-game currency. It's microplastics.
Okay. Well, then I approve, said the grumpy scold.
No, this isn't. There's no real money microtransactions in this game.
Oh, good.
I think it would go against the thematic thrust of this game's story for them to do that.
Yeah. Now, if this game was, being made by some small team that had been purchased by, say, Electronic Arts or Ubisoft,
Oh, absolutely.
they probably would be trying to shove that shit in, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, get in there. Get in there, bud. There we go.
Oh, nice.
The upgrades to the bobbit worm are really good too, where there's like the typical, make the duration of the trap last longer, but there's also one that makes it so that when an enemy is trapped, they take more damage from all sources.
Oh, cool.
So that's really good.
I loved the way he had the big bottle smashing down.
Yeah, so that guy was actually the second boss of the game. We're at the point now where early game bosses are now showing up as regular enemies in these optional areas.
Oh, it's a Ramune.
Yeah, it's Kurabune.
Ah.
That's literally what it says.
Fucking of course.
Yeah, I know how to read katakana. Eat that.
I know about 3 of them.
I took Duolingo for like a couple years until it got too shitty.
Yeah.
Also wasn't like really learning anything by the end of it,
Yeah, even before it got real shitty, it seemed it was just like, well, maybe good for some really basic shit, but like after that, it's like it's better to do something else.
Yeah, very very surface level look at Japanese. I can recognize some words when I watch Kurosawa movies or play Yakuza, but like that's it.
Yeah.
Nani?
Whereas I only have like certain like fan sub translations just absolutely burned into my brain. Like most of them from, like early bad versions of like Evangelion or some of the better ones that I've got from like G Gundam.
Oh man.
Classic
repeatedly
stuff.
Having people yell so noisy at each other for no good reason.
I really like this part. It's like that's another thing I like about the moment-to-moment writing in this game is like, yeah, there's sort of the puntastic stuff that you'd expect, but also the writing is just regular funny.
Yeah.
Although that wasn't funny. That was entirely too real. I reject that particular joke.
Okay.
The music stops and you're alone with your thoughts. Intolerable.
Put on a song. Here we go. How many times am I going to listen to Too Much Passion by the Smithereens today? More than 6? We'll find out.
You really are from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. I am literally... After this, I'm literally going to start mixing a Springsteen cover. Let's go Mets, baby. Gotta love the Mets.
Does this sound like the actions of a man who'd had all the seafood he could eat?
I don't know. I think I'm normal, is the thing. Like, I think I'm kind of like baseline human, I kind of think everyone else is the weird, Like, I think your cultures are interesting, the rest of you, but, like, I come from the most normal place to be from.
For sure.
Yeah.
Until several years ago, I thought New Jersey was just a fantasy.
Boy, telling you, like, legends of the place across the water from Staten Island, where we dare not go.
Okay, I suppose it's more than a couple years. It's maybe, say, 15 years ago when I learned New Jersey was real.
from the twisted mind of David Chase.
Yeah, exactly.
His most outlandish setting yet.
You know, my partner is a huge fan of House, which I found out this year also takes place in New Jersey. I didn't watch it when it was on.
It does?
Yeah, it's like Princeton, Trenton sort of area, like
how
Central.
did I not remember that? Huh. I was obsessed with that fucking show for a while.
I don't know. Like, our culture is just better. I don't know what to tell you. I only half believe that. Sometimes some of my jokes are like, I worry about because I'm just like the thrust of a lot of my jokes are, wouldn't it be funny if I said this?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if I believed this? But then sometimes I think like, do people think I really think this? Maybe I should clarify.
I hear Trenton makes. And
The
yet
world takes.
It's the world that takes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Gotta be the most normal town motto of all time.
Oh man, they're so. I don't know. I don't really go there. I don't live near there really. So.
Is that a little photorealistic goldfish you got with you?
He's not photorealistic. He's a ghost.
Oh, he's a ghost.
We got him from that grave.
Yeah.
So that's the second of. There's actually 3 of those little fish stowaways. We got the first one back in the grove. His name was Chum.
Right.
And they swim around and bite enemies for you. They do tiny little damage. This guy is literally just a ghost named Frederick.
Can you have more than one of them out at a time?
Yes, you can.
Oh,
so
cool.
since there's 3 of them, you can equip 3 stowaways, and you know the max stowaway capacity is 9. Each of these little fish has a capacity limit of 3, so
Okay.
you can just have all 3 of them out following you as your entourage
Oh, that's cool.
when you get all of them. So I show that off in the last video of the series.
Now, do they ever ask about me?
The fish, the entourage.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I just had to come think of, rack my brain to think of an example of one of the several times that it's happened.
Right, yeah.
There's just so many that it took a while for me to.
It comes up so often, it's weird that somebody would ask about it.
Yeah.
It's like asking someone, so are you subject to gravity?
Yeah, exactly. Do people die when they are killed? Oh, speaking of which, we're running a little short on time. I was wondering if we wanted to hear a dramatic reading from Night of the Crabs.
I think we probably hook that up. Although I think that due to the magic and mystery of my total lack of process looking for things, what opened when I looked for it in my library was Killer Crabs.
The sequel.
Which, yeah, the second book in the decreasingly landish series. So yeah, I can find something from that, or we can go purist with it.
Yeah, I got the original book right here, a hard copy. I got some passages I could serenade you with.
Yeah, why don't you hit us with one of those, and then we'll see what I can pull from the second one.
Yeah, we'll see if we got time. If anything, maybe we could do another one as like a bonus video.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from chapter 5 of Night of the Crabs, page 50. I'm going to skip past the part where our hero, sexy marine biologist, Silver Fox Cliff Davenport, and his new divorcee friend, Pat Benson, they are staking out the giant crabs on the shore of Shell Island in Wales. They have just done a big horny sexy fuck. And okay, so I'm gonna start here on page 50.
And you're skipping that. Okay.
I want to get to the good stuff, Well, the really good stuff. Reluctantly, they parted and adjusted their clothing. Pat, her hair awry as he zipped him. Pat, her hair awry and her cheeks flushed, looked more beautiful to Cliff than ever before. I'm more than glad I let you come with me tonight, he whispered as he zipped himself up again. I'm afraid, though, that we must still keep an eye open for those crabs. He scrambled to the top of the hollow and gazed out along the shore. The sea was much nearer now. 100 yards, maybe less. The soft swish of the incoming tide was sweet music in his ears. Somewhere, a curlew uttered its solitary, unmistakable call, a call so fitting to the loneliness of the vast expanse of open sea which lay in front of them. Then he saw a movement. It was a long way off, back along the disappearing sands towards the north end. At first, he thought that it might have been a shadow cast by the moon as the fluffy white cirrus cloud floated by. He saw it again. It shambled, stopped. A minute passed. 2. Then it moved again, something on all fours that was following the line of the incoming tide, rearing upright, dropping down again. My God, he hissed. What is it? Pat Benson was at his side, her arms around his waist, her chin on his shoulder. What can you see, Cliff? Over there, he pointed. Watch carefully. It'll move again in a second. It's behind that pile of seaweed. There it goes. She followed his pointing finger. In the moonlight, it was difficult to discern a definite shape. It just shambled along, pausing every few seconds, heading towards them. It's... And relief and surprise were in her strangled gasp. A man! You're right! Cliff stared at the awkwardly moving shape in front of them. It's Bartholomew, she breathed. The beachcomber. They watched fascinated as the grotesque form of the man whom they had met earlier in the day groveled amidst the heaped-up, stinking seaweed. He came closer and closer until they could see his features plainly, those wide, staring eyes darting eagerly about him as he searched amongst the debris remaining from the last tide. All the time he grunted unintelligibly, like some snuffling beast of prey on a fresh scent. Cliff pulled Pat down low into the long grass. He could not explain his feelings, just like a man. But he did not want Bartholomew to spot them. Shivers ran freely up and down his spine. Mrs. Jones had said that the man was harmless, yet he warranted she had never seen an expression like that on his face. Cliff suddenly felt himself wishing he had brought along his old service revolver. It's like, hey dude, I just fantasized about killing you. He had never been afraid of any man in his life, but he prayed now that Bartholomew would not spot them. The beachcomber glanced in their direction but gave no sign that he was aware of their presence. He drew level with them and passed on. Sometimes he traveled on all fours, but for the most part he resorted to that now familiar shamble, dragging one leg behind them. Look! Pat's whispered cry brought Cliff's head round again. She was pointing back in the direction from which Bartholomew had come. Her next exclamation gurgled in her throat. Her hand covered her mouth, her eyes wide with sheer terror. Then, Cliff Davenport saw them. They were emerging from the edge of the tide like a host of behemoths rising up from the mighty deep. The giant crabs had arrived, in italics. They were no more than 50 yards away, their pincers waving in the air as though they were beckoning colleagues still hidden by the sea to follow them. Cliff began to count. He reached 40, but more were still appearing. Their shells were a deep sandy color, glinting in the moonlight. Then the watchers saw the faces of the creatures. With a cry, Pat Benson clasped her hands to her face. She had never thought of them as such. To her, crabs had always been scuttling shells with legs. But the expressions on these faces were almost human, evil. Deep-set eyes glowed, missing nothing. They remained stationary as if awaiting some command, not even a pincer moving now. Big as sheep! Cliff Davenport laughed hysterically. They're as big as bloody cows! Oh my God! Pat clung to him. They're real! They actually exist! Quiet, he commanded, holding her close to him. Not a sound. Oh, it gets real good from there.
Oh,
but,
that's the SpongeBob Pineapple House, huh?
Here we go.
It's the
There's
chrome
SpongeBob.
one.
They put it in there.
Cute.
Watch me shut the hell up, having been extraordinarily wrong, but rarely. More glad to be that wrong.
Yeah, just a cute little Easter egg.
I do want to shout out that what you just read is a rich text, and richer because of your special achievements in voice acting.
Oh, thank you.
I never did voices if I could help it, or accents, because I'm terrible at it. But
right, thank you.
I really felt like I was there on the
That
beach.
was good. Yeah, that was good.
I've always been okay at accents. Like I can do most of the Simpsons cast.
I also think that, like, I don't know why, but I've been flashing back to this, John Oliver thing where he kept cutting in clips from pro wrestling, and, like, he had great reaction clips to it. And at one point he says something like, "It's just objectively better than the stuff you like." And I'm sorry, when I hear something like a host of behemoths, what I think is this is just objectively better than the stuff that other people like. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Guy, you were on one that day. So I've got a short one, and I think it will pull a certain number of threads together. And we are back with our man Cliff Davenport, which is just a tremendous name.
Oh yeah, I love him.
All right, so I'm going to jump in. The radio was crackling in the next room. At the same moment, the telephone on the desk started to ring. Shannon swore and turned back. Davenport picked up the receiver. Immediately, his expression became grave. "I see," his voice was terse. "Yes, we're on our way now. No, don't try to resist. Get a retreat organized as best you can. Make for the hills. They won't follow up there. It's too far from the water. Yes, hurry." As he rang off, Shannon came back from the radio. "It's the crabs." He was trembling visibly. "The submarine picked them up. Loosed off a couple of torpedoes, but didn't score a hit. Big bunch of them, heading into the bay. They're already ashore." Cliff Davenport took 3 rifles from the rack and passed 1 each to Kill and Quarter. "Not that these are much good, but I suppose they're better than nothing. Come on, let's use the Jeep and take a look-see. I've told the captain of the Marines to organize a retreat of both armed forces and civilians. Surrender property. We don't have any damned chance. Hell, I never expected anything like this to happen in between full moons. Come on, let's go." With Shannon at the wheel, the Jeep roared out onto the beach road. The attack was as perfectly coordinated as any military maneuver in the history of warfare. The creatures came in on the tide, cloaked by darkness, whereas under a full moon, they would certainly have been seen by the Marine sentry before they reached the fine, dry sand of the Royal Hayman Hotel beach. They advanced in a series of V formations, each following close on the other, as do skeins of wild geese in flight, a huge crab, almost half as large again as any of the others in the league. An army of behemoths came from the depths, converging upon the hotel as though this fine building was a prearranged target. Click, 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 clickety-click. Their military intelligence, second to none, neither man nor beast had no way of overcoming the noise made by these tremendous pinchers as they moved. This was the only warning that the 2 sentries, instructed to patrol the perimeter of the hotel, had of the impending attack. Click, click, clickety-click. The noise was intensified by the hills at the rear, a noise that heralded death as surely as had the clicking of knitting needles below the guillotines during the French Revolution. 2 portable searchlights had been set up in readiness that evening, and now the Marines sent twin beams of dazzling white light sweeping the beach, reflecting the glinting red eyes and dozens of pairs of pincers waving menacingly. And the huge crustacean which led them was less than 50 yards away. They'd used the tide to their advantage too, not emerging until it had flowed to the full, thereby rendering their approach both silent and invisible until the very last moment when they emerged onto dry land. The 2 men brought their repeating carabines to their shoulders and began firing simultaneously, their target the hideous monster at the apex of the oncoming army of giant crabs. No sooner had the first shots echoed out across the bay than a dozen more Marines came tumbling out of the foyer where they had bedded down for the night less than an hour before. A sergeant remained behind to telephone the Shark Patrol and to radio the destroyer, but already it seemed that the defensive action was too late. A hail of bullets neither harmed nor deterred the attackers, bouncing off like hailstones on slate roofs. Caroline Dubrenner was at the very peak of her second stupendous orgasm of the night when the firing broke out. and I'll stop it there. But that transition is to me one of the greats in literature.
That's the book in microcosm, man.
So
that was really good.
That transition there, that is even like you read that was like the ending of a chapter, and then that last sentence was the beginning of another chapter. There's not even a divide. That's just holy shit. That's incredible.
Was there a line break at least? Like
you get a paragraph break.
Okay.
So you could mentally put in the Law and Order dun dun between those, but oh my god. Well, yeah, we've run long, but this was so much fun.
Incredible.
Thank you for coming on the show, Collision.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. I just want to leave us with I was looking for this, my absolute favorite line from the whole book, if I may.
Oh, please.
Okay. This is after the crabs eat the drifter with our two lovebirds watching. How awful. The words came in a tortured gasp from Pat. She felt as though she was about to faint. She was glad of Cliff Davenport's comforting arm. Together, they vomited into the spiky grass of the sand dunes, all the time fearful that the sound of their spewing would be heard by the nightmare army of horrors from the deep.
I mean,
So
it's not just the prose. It's the insight into the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you did have to vomit on the beach while surrounded by an army of crabs, you really would be thinking, Christ, I hope they don't hear this. But not every author is going to like go ahead and put that in the book.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about real art. And
yeah.
I apologize for saying there was no subtext to this book earlier.
I mean, maybe not subtext, but there's definitely insight. I will go to bat for that.
I hear you. Okay. Well, see you next week, folks. As we say always, stay sexy and don't get eaten by giant crabs.
Watch out for snakes, kids.